Imagine loading up your moving truck, ready to escape a suffocating suburb, when suddenly sirens blare and your nosy HOA queen accuses you of stealing your own wind chimes. Like there's some priceless community artifact. That's the absurdity that hit me, Jack Harlan. Right in my perfectly manicured driveway, turning a simple goodbye into a circus of clipboard tyranny. But oh, the sweet irony when her power trip unraveled, revealing the fraud beneath her polished smile, and justice flipped the script in the most satisfying way. The day started like any other in Evergreen Meadows, that picture-perfect slice of American suburbia where lawns are greener than envy and rules thicker than a lawyer's briefcase. I'd lived there for 15 years, ever since Sarah and I bought the place fresh off the developer's lot. Back then, it was all barbecues and block parties, the HOA just a casual group of folks ensuring fences didn't lean too far left. Literally. Sarah loved it. She'd spend weekends planting wildflowers along our walkway, humming tunes from old musicals, insisting that a splash of color kept the world spinning right. "Jack, life's too short for beige everything," she'd say with that wink of hers. But after cancer took her 2 years ago, the colors faded, and Evergreen started feeling less like a meadow and more like a prison yard with picket fences. I was 57, a retired engineer who'd spent decades designing bridges that actually connected things, not divided them. The house echoed now, every creak a reminder of her absence. I'd fix random stuff, the squeaky hinge on the back door, the loose shutter, just to fill the void with noise. But the real noise came from the HOA, which had morphed from friendly oversight into a full-blown regime under Linda Voss, the self-appointed empress of order. Linda, with her perpetual pearl necklace and that smile that screamed, "I'm judging you," preached community harmony like it was gospel. But really, it was code for, do as I say or pay up. Deciding to sell was my lifeline. A cozy cabin up by Silver Lake, 3 hours north, where Sarah and I had honeymooned. No more mandatory mulch colors or fines for non-conforming bird feeders. I pictured lazy mornings with black coffee, watching mist roll off the water, free from the gossip vines that strangled Evergreen. Packing was therapeutic. Boxes labeled in Sarah's faded script, "Kitchen, handle with love," stacked like monuments to better days. The realtor had the papers ready. The truck hummed in the drive. Freedom was a U-Haul away. But freedom in Evergreen apparently required a permit. As I hauled the last box out, a shadow fell across the porch. There she was, Linda, clipboard in hand, lips pursed like she'd sucked a lemon through a straw. "Mr. Harlan?" she cooed, that fake sweet voice dripping with venom. "I see you're making quite the exit, but have you cleared this with the board? Moving day isn't just a free-for-all, you know?" I wiped sweat from my brow, chuckling inwardly at her audacity. "Linda, I'm selling the house, not hosting a rave. What's to clear?" Her eyes narrowed, pen scratching furiously. "Everything, Jack. Aesthetic continuity demands oversight. We can't have trucks disrupting the curb appeal." I rolled my eyes. Disrupting? The street was dead quiet, save for the distant hum of a mandated electric mower. But I bit my tongue. Arguing with Linda was like wrestling fog, pointless and exhausting. That afternoon, as I sipped coffee on the porch swing Sarah had loved, a red envelope appeared taped to my door like a scarlet letter. "Final compliance assessment," it blared in bold caps. Inside, a $2,500 bill for unauthorized asset relocation. What assets? My gaze drifted to the wind chimes tinkling softly. Sarah's favorites, handmade from seashells we'd collected on our last beach trip. Apparently, they were now community enhancements per some bylaw I'd never heard of. I crumpled the paper, muttering, "This is nuts." But deep down, I knew it was just the opening salvo in Linda's war on my escape. The whispers started almost immediately. At the mailbox, old Mr. Jenkins averted his eyes, mumbling about troublemakers upsetting the balance. Mrs. Ellis, who'd borrowed sugar from Sarah a dozen times, crossed the street to avoid me. The community app buzzed with anonymous posts. "Certain residents think rules don't apply, sad." I could smell Linda's fingerprints all over it. She was the queen of subtle sabotage, turning neighbors into spies with her report a violation hotline. I'd seen her do it before, to the guy who painted his garage door eggshell instead of ivory, or the family whose kids left bikes out overnight. But me? I was the defector, the one daring to leave her kingdom. I stayed quiet at first, observing like the engineer I was, measuring angles, spotting weaknesses. Linda's harmony was a facade. Her board meetings were echo chambers where she steamrolled dissent with quotes from the bylaws like holy scripture. For the greater good, she'd intone, while pocketing administrative fees that funded her husband's shady landscaping gigs. I filed the notice away, snapped a photo, and noted the date. Patience, I told myself. Bridges don't build overnight. But Linda wasn't patient. The next morning, she marched up my walk, heels clicking like tiny gavels. "Jack, I trust you've seen the notice?" Her smile was all teeth, no warmth. Just a friendly reminder. Pay up, or we'll have to escalate. I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. Escalate how? By fining me for breathing non-regulation air. She blinked, caught off guard by the sarcasm, then recovered with a TSK. Sarcasm doesn't suit you, Mr. Harlan. This is about preserving our standards. Your items contribute to the neighborhood's charm. I glanced at the chimes. You mean my wife's mementos? Since when do seashells need HOA approval? Her pen hovered. Since the board voted on it last quarter. Aesthetic continuity, remember? Without rules, we descend into chaos. Like those unkempt suburbs across town. Chaos? The woman fined people for mismatched mailbox flags. I shook my head. Linda, I'm out. County approved my withdrawal months ago. Her laugh was sharp, brittle. Oh, Jack, we've updated the maps. Your lot's still ours. For harmony's sake. Updated maps? That reeked of her hubby Carl's expertise. The same guy whose company got every HOA contract. No bids needed. I pocketed the notice. This smells like harassment. Her eyes glittered. It's order, Mr. Harlan. You'll thank me when property values stay high. As she clicked away, I caught neighbors peeking from curtains, phones glowing. The rumor mill churned. Jack stealing HOA stuff. Typical widower gone rogue. Stung, that twist on my grief, but I filed it away too. Evidence was stacking, and Linda's noose was tightening on herself. The fines snowballed like a bad investment. First, $150 for lawn variance. My grass was a quarter-inch too long, apparently a threat to national security. Then $300 for exterior modification without permit. I'd hung a for sale sign. Each envelope arrived with Linda's cheery stamp, Evergreen Meadows, where harmony thrives. Thrives? It was thriving on my dime. The community forum lit up. Non-compliers drag us all down. Pay or leave. Anonymous, of course, but Linda's phrasing was unmistakable. Delivery guys started dumping packages at the curb. Old pals canceled coffee chats, citing busy schedules. Isolation hit hard. Nights alone, staring at Sarah's photo, wondering if speaking up would honor her or just feed the beast. One evening, buried in paperwork under the kitchen light, I pinned Sarah's old note to the fridge. Build bridges, not walls, Jack. One honest span at a time. Clicked. Linda's order was a wall of lies, and I had the blueprints to dismantle it. I photographed every fine, time-stamped emails, even recorded her friendly visits on my phone. Methodical, like engineering a collapse. But the real shift came when my son, Alex, showed up unannounced. Alex pulled in late one rainy afternoon, his beat-up SUV splashing puddles like it owned the road. At 32, he was a federal agent, FBI, white-collar crime division, but you'd never guess from his jeans and hoodie. We hugged awkwardly, the way we did since Sarah's funeral. Dad, you look like hell, he said, eyeing the stack of envelopes on the table. What's this mess? I poured coffee. Welcome to HOA hell. Linda Voss thinks my wind chimes are communal treasure. He sifted through the papers, brow furrowing. Same typos, escalating amounts. This screams coordination. I nodded. Feels like a shakedown. Alex leaned back, that agent gleam in his eye. You should have called. But let's see, redrawn maps? Family ties to vendors? Smells like fraud. We spent hours poring over it. Him spotting patterns I'd missed. Fines looping back to Carl's company. Updates without county stamps. Dad, This isn't just petty, it's criminal. For the first time, I felt the tide turning. Alex crashed on the couch, promising, "We'll handle this my way." Quiet, then boom. Linda amped up the absurdity. A fine for delayed response to correspondence, because I hadn't acknowledged her last threat fast enough. She even posted on the app, "Reminder, compliance builds trust." Neighbors chimed in, "Some folks think they're above it. Sad for the kids who suffer." Kids? Mine was grown, but the smear hurt. I confronted her at the next voluntary meeting, held in the clubhouse turned war room. Linda presided like a queen, banging a tiny gavel. "Order. We're here for harmony." I stood. "Harmony? Or highway robbery? Your maps are doodles, Linda." "Drawn by Carl, no doubt." Gasps rippled. She flushed, voice icy. "Mr. Harlan, baseless accusations violate decorum. Pay your dues or face liens." I smiled thinly. "Liens on what? My memories?" She banged the gavel harder. "This meeting's adjourned. For non-compliers." Laughter bubbled in my chest, bitter and black, her decorum crumbling under scrutiny. Isolation peaked. Even the mailman eyed me warily. But Alex worked behind scenes, digging into records, whispering to contacts. "Got hits, embezzlement trails," he murmured one night. Her throne's shaky. The neighborhood buzzed with her propaganda. "Defectors harm us all." But cracks showed. Mrs. Gomez muttered about overcharged pool fees. Mr. Patel questioned Carl's exclusive contracts. Linda's grip slipped, her politeness fraying into panic. The climax hit on moving day, redux. Truck loaded, chimes packed last. Sirens wailed again. Linda stormed up, phone aloft. "Officers! Theft in progress. HOA assets." The cops, same duo as before, sighed. "Ma'am, wind chimes aren't contraband." She huffed. "Per bylaws. He's disrupting harmony." I set the box down. "Linda, this is ridiculous. Even for you." She jabbed a finger. "You'll regret defying order." Then Alex stepped out, casual as ever. "Actually, she might regret it more." Linda sneered. "Who are you?" "Another rule breaker." Alex flashed his badge. "FBI Special Agent Alex Harlan. And you're under investigation for fraud, forgery, and siphoning funds." Her face drained to chalk. "Preposterous. I maintain standards." Alex unfolded the warrant. "Standards like funneling fines to your brother's firm? We've got the paper trail." Officers nodded, cuffs ready. Linda spluttered. "Without me, this place falls apart." Alex deadpanned. "It already did. Under your harmony." Click went the cuffs, her clipboard clattered. Neighbors gawked, phones capturing the fall. "You can't," she wailed. I whispered, "Control's a funny thing, Linda. Slips when it's built on lies." The aftermath was poetic justice. Auditors swarmed the clubhouse, hauling boxes of cooked books. Headlines screamed, "HOA boss busted in $150,000 scam." "Neighborhood tyrant toppled." Linda and Carl faced charges. Restitution checks rolled in. Evergreen dissolved, the HOA reborn as Silver Ridge Commons, volunteer-led, no clipboards. Lawns grew wilder, doors painted funky colors. Kids played freely. At the first real meeting, folks shared stories of her reign, laughter mixing with relief. "She fined me for ugly gnomes," one said. "Mine was for a rainbow flag." "Clashing aesthetics?" Another chuckled. I sat back, watching harmony bloom without force. Weeks later, at the lake cabin, peace settled like fog on water. No fines, just waves lapping. Alex visited, updating. They pled guilty. Community service picking up litter. We laughed, toasting Sarah. "Rules for safety, not cages," I said. He nodded. "You built that bridge, Dad." Mornings now. Sketches by the dock. Roses replanted wild. Evergreen scars faded. Freedom felt earned. But here's the kicker, was Linda the villain? Or just a product of a system that lets petty power corrupt? Or do HOAs breed these Karens, turning neighbors into wardens? Drop your thoughts. Right or wrong? Who's really at fault when order becomes oppression?